Today we're going to be talking about reading biofeedback. I get a lot of questions from people asking how to know, hey, should I take a rest day? How do I adjust my macronutrients? Do I need to have more calories? Do I need more carbohydrates? Do I need more fats? How do I start? All of these things. And one of the first areas I like to tell people to take a look at is their biofeedback. Biofeedback is the information from our bodies that can give us insight into what's going on the inside. So when we talk about hormonal balance, when we talk about digestion, all of these things, we can kind of get some cues from our body, and then that's how we start reassessing, adjusting, and changing, nutrition, training, rest days. That's kind of how you can start going about that. So one of the first areas I take a look at is sleep. This is really important. So if you're getting poor sleep, then let's take a look at, is that poor sleep quality? Is it quantity? Are you waking up at certain times in the middle of the night? So waking up a little bit early than you're normally used to can sometimes mean that cortisol is a little bit off, right? Or if you are super tired in the morning, even though you've slept a good bit, and then you are really, really tired midday, but then you are tired and wired at the end of the night, meaning you can't fall asleep, that could also mean some issues with cortisol. So that's going to be some biofeedback from our body letting us know that, hey, there might be a little too much stress going on in the body. So stress, not to jump all the way down here, but stress is the next one we're going to take a look at. If you're feeling really high stress, meaning all kinds of areas of your life, then you can be pretty sure that this is going to come through in a lot of your biofeedback. So let's take a look at some of that. Hunger and cravings. These two kind of go hand in hand here, along with high stress and poor sleep, okay? If you're having feedback from your body telling you that you're getting just crazy cravings, normally this typically happens for a lot of people in the afternoon or like at night. Sometimes that means cortisol is really high, you're really high stress. If you're having hunger cues, this isn't a bad thing, but let's pay attention to that from your body so you can reassess, hey, how do I need to adjust things? If you're eating low calories, so you're in a deficit trying to lose body fat, but you're not having any hunger, that might be a cue that, hey, we should go ahead and take a refeed day or maybe start to bump calories back up again, because we don't want to completely eradicate our hunger, our hunger cues. You should have some hunger, especially if you're eating in a deficit. Now, if you are extremely hungry, then that's going to be an issue as well, because we don't want you to suddenly be giving into all these cravings. So that biofeedback right there is going to lead me to tell you, you know what? Why don't you give yourself a refeed day? Maybe you should take a rest day. What's your stress like? What's your sleep like? Okay? Once you start taking a look at those, you might need to give yourself a reverse. You might need to start making changes the opposite direction so that you're not having these crazy cravings and hunger spells. The next thing you're gonna take a look at, energy, right? So is this consistent? Do you feel lags in energy throughout different times of the day? Is it after eating certain things? So some people will notice that if midday for lunch they have rice, then later, about an hour later, they get real low energy. Some people this happens with potatoes. Some people it's not even related to certain foods. Sometimes it's related to sleep. Sometimes it's related to stress. So pay attention to that energy. We want to have, wake up with good energy, not need tons and tons of caffeine and coffee, and we want it to stay pretty consistent throughout the day. If you're saying that you're having low energy at night and you're ready for bed, that's okay. That's good feedback from your body. How about recovery? So you want to be able to recover from day to day from your workouts. If you're not recovering properly, that's feedback from your body. Training and performance. This is another one. This goes along with energy. But how about, if you're doing Olympic lifts, right? Is your central nervous system recovering properly? What is your body telling you? This is really, really important. If you start to, change your eating habits and you're noticing that your training is going downhill, weights are starting to feel really heavy, you're not able to make it through long conditioning pieces, then perhaps you need to take a look at, adding some more food back in. We already covered cravings. Last but not least, we're gonna talk about mood and motivation. So this is a really big one coming from your body. If you're constantly feeling unmotivated, if you're kind of cranky, if you find yourself kind of going off the deep end real easily, kind of losing it a little bit, then this could be signs of increased stress, decreased recovery, maybe you're really hungry, right? And that's kind of putting you in a bad mood. If you're not sleeping well, all of this is feedback from your body that's kind of bringing that motivation down, bringing your mood down. So any of these things are what you should be paying attention to. So what I'll usually do is tell people to write all these down and rate them from 1 to 5, okay? You wanna be on the higher end, okay? If you're constantly giving yourself a bunch of 1s or 2s, then it's time to reassess what you're doing with your nutrition, with your training, with your rest, your sleep, and your stress management. Hopefully this helps give you a little bit of a guide to checking out your biofeedback.